You know, first and foremost, Coach, congratulations on your victory. You know, you guys did a hell of a job. Being in camp, you know, getting the chance to see you guys in camp, you know, and I told you how impressed I was, and it felt like Errol had a huge chip on his shoulder, and it just felt so different about him. You told me before the fight he was going to have a spectacular performance, and he did just that. Do you feel that this is the best victory as far as you being his head coach, going overseas, winning the IBF, defeating Sean Porter, getting that WBC title, now defeating Ugas for the WBA? How satisfying is it for you as a coach? And would you say it's your are you impressed most by this victory than any of the other ones?
You know, funny man, like with the boxing thing, is like it's not so satisfying. I think that I'm just happy we got what we came out to get. Right. So really, I'm more relieved than anything. I feel accomplished, but at the same time, I don't think about the other aspect of it. I just think that you got to do great. You got to do better, and he did well. I mean, and because it doesn't matter. Like if I win trainer of the year, my guys look horrible. They look subpar. And I mean, look, think about this. The guy who they gave trainer of the year to, the year I was supposed to get it, the last time, the guy from Ring Magazine told me that Teofimo's win was more significant than mine. My two. Bringing Errol back from the car accident, and Jamel, I mean, they had 4 fights that year. But he said that one win was better than my fights. So what happened? His next fight he lost. Then the guy that beat him lost. So it's like, you know, that's the game, man. You know, you can't. My life is all about being consistent. It ain't about, you know, you get a flash. No, I want to be consistent.
Derrick, is Charlo the guy who can make all the adjustments and not Castaño? Like Castaño can only fight.
I think Castaño's a good fighter, man. He's a great fighter. I think that, you know, but Jamel had to go out there and be the best version of himself. He cannot come out there and relax and do whatever. He got to be out there and do his thing.
Derrick, I gotta ask you being involved with 2 upcoming undisputed fights. We saw Canelo undisputed last year along with Josh Taylor, and now not just the 2 fights you're involved in, but Devin Haney, he's fighting for undisputed as well. Do you think that this is what the sport needed to see? You know, we heard Deontay Wilder preach all the time, one face, one name for each division. Do you think that it's helped the sport of boxing?
I think that it'll help it, but I think it'll limit so many other fights because these guys who are number 1 got to wait till this guy fights, because every year you got to fight a mandatory and you got to fight. You get 1 fight to fight, right? So that's by the time that WBA champ or whatever get his shot, that's 4 years. So it's like it's kind of difficult at the same time because those guys, like say you can be number 1 at WBC, that doesn't mean you're gonna get the mandatory fight because he gets to fight a mandatory, then he gets to fight a voluntary challenge.
But we typically see them vacate, right? I mean, Canelo hasn't yet, but you know, Terrence Crawford, when he undisputed, he moved up. Josh Taylor, he had 1 fight, and now he's moving up.
Yeah. He lost too.
Who's that?
No,
Josh Taylor? He had a close fight against Jack Catterall.
I didn't see the fight, but I heard he lost. But.
Derrick, where do you rank this victory in your career with Spence overall?
I don't know, man. I'm not.
Right?
My thinking is like blank. It's like blank. You know, I'm just happy to get done with it. I mean, like really, I feel like a sense of relief. So it's like it's very difficult to even think about that. I just feel like accomplished. I did what I set out to do. It's not so much about me, but I was able to do what I told them I could do for them.
Derrick, the game plan going into Ugas. Did Errol execute it exactly how
you know what? He came out and he did well. I mean, we knew he was ever going to try to time him, and we knew that. But it was like Ugas really. I think he really realized how difficult it was to time him. But I think that at the same time he threw a double jab and shot us and throw 3, 4 jab, and shuffle, chop, shovel step. And Ugas kept stepping back. So you got to step. And that's what the double jab, he was expecting that. Then after that, I said double jab, and then shuffle and shoot the hook because he expected the left hand. So when he started shooting the hook, he kind of started missing him, so I said, let's shoot it to the shoulder. Because when he dips, you're going to catch him, so yeah.
Hey Derrick, do you think the defense of Errol Spence was big in this fight coming up today? Because normally he gets a bad rap for not moving his head, but he did a lot of head movement and a lot of switching in this fight. What part of the game plan when you guys worked on when you saw this fight that you saw that would be a big part of it?
Man, Ugas is a phenomenal fighter. I mean, listen, when this thing, if you let somebody be great, they're gonna be great. That's what it is, man. Like Ugas, if Errol would have laid back and played, he would have been great. You got to take that. And what Ugas is the guy that beat that out of him. This is the guy who escaped 6 times. He got caught 6 times. On the 7th time, that means he has a hell of a lot of fortitude. How do you break a guy? You got to go out there and break him. You got to break him. You got to break him. You got to break him. And that was the whole thing. There's no way you can beat him. You got to break him.
Were you a little surprised he didn't touch the canvas? It's taking a lot of punishment.
The thing about this, the knockout is a shot. It's over. You may get a little concussed, but to recover from that, he may never fight again. Took too many hard shots. His rib probably broken. You know, the rib probably broken. We know his face probably broken. His nose, out over the bone. So it's like the knockout is the best thing that could happen to somebody. The whole taking a beating like that, that was round after round after round. I know how hard he punches, man.
He'll never be the same, probably, right? After that fight.
I mean, he won't never be the same.
Were you surprised the doctor didn't stop it the first time they took a look
It was
at
like the referee, he's like, man, I kept trying to stop the fight. I said, yeah, man, come on, man. It's like, I mean, I know y'all got the Cahibas and the Kahunas or whatever it is, but come on, man, you gotta stop that fight. Cahibas, that's a cigar, yeah, but the Kahunas. I had to think about it myself. Like, I had to think about it myself. Like,
Derrick, Coach Salas, he's a great coach.
I mean, yeah. I told him we're going to Cuba together. I'm going to Cuba. I want to go to Cuba.
What do you make now that the Cuban government have chose to allow professional boxing for those guys? They don't have to defect. They can participate now.
Tax revenue. Tax revenue. Everything in the world is about tax revenue.
Derrick, take me into your emotions on the 6th round when Earl did get hit. He looked a little rocco.
Well, I couldn't really see it. Well, listen, I really couldn't see it, so I'm going back. Then after the referee explained to me and he explained to me what happened, it was kind of like, okay, you realize what happened. You know, he got hit while he was on the break, basically. I mean, so, you know, I was like, man, oh my God, like, how this is going to work? And he recovered, man. And they had to put the mouthpiece in. So he was like, I couldn't put the mouthpiece in right then, so I had to let him, you know, whatever. So when it was low in the action, that's when they put it in.
And in that moment when he comes over to you to clean the mouthpiece, are you cognizant of maybe I gotta like step a little slower on the step or something? You know what I mean?
I just, you know,
give him a little more time.
A little bit, man. You got to think about it, you know, because it's a game.
Part of the game.
Yeah.
Hey, coming into this fight, you know, there's a big crowd, hometown fight. Earl seemed to be a lot more relaxed than any other fight he's ever been in. What do you contribute that to?
I think that he's just happy to be here, man. I think that if you think about this, man, when you come out and see what you see or see what we saw, man, that's an emotional moment, man. Think about it, you see all these people out here came to see you fight. Hey, man, that's crazy. I mean, it's just like they spent their hard-earned money. I mean, COVID, I'm sure everybody got COVID in his memory. So we can't, you know, there's some shit up in there. I mean, everybody, so many people in there betraying, man. That's what it is, man.
Why do you think they come out there?
Huh?
What do you think it is about Errol that draws people?
Because they think they're going to see that what they just saw. That's what that's what they want to see. That thing in particular. The way he fights, the way he breaks them down. He's a fighter. He's not trying to be pretty. You know, he's very technically sound. The jab, he stayed with the jab throughout the whole fight. The inside game was amazing. You know, you see fighters, they really don't have a good inside game. They throw a couple shots.
Isn't his style kind of Texas? Like it manifests like just straightforward, no bullshit?
Well, I'm from Texas.
Right.
I'm teaching the style. So that means, I don't think it's necessary. I think that when they have a strong defensive, fight from a strong defensive perspective, you can go forward and backwards. You don't have to do you don't have to do what somebody wants you to do because you have defense, you have whatever.
You did say that wasn't going to go all 12. Right. What made you kind of say that?
I just knew I saw him in the gym working with bigger guys. I saw him in the gym breaking guys down in the gym. And these are great fighters, really fast fighters, really athletic fighters, really skilled fighters. But he was on it, man. I mean, he was on it.
Now, if we can be honest, were there any part of you that was nervous when in the 4th round, I believe when it happened, or the 6th round when Spence's mouthpiece got knocked out and he got clipped a few times? So
he got hit. Well, listen, he got hit on a break. The referee said break. And so what happened, he said to me, I was relaxing and I got hit. Then he came back the next round and said, but the referee said break. Yo, what's up? Yeah, he with Errol. Back in the locker room, yeah. So he said to me, he said, hey man, he hit me on the break. And I was like, okay.
Derrick, you know, we've all like analyzed this fight so much. Errol's the strong, natural welterweight. Terrence, the counter puncher. Right. How's this fight going to play out if we get it next? How do you see it going down?
I'm not going to talk about it because it's here now. It's here now. So it's nothing to be whatever. You know, they've been talking about it, so it's ready to go.
Coach, is it going to be the most difficult game plan you've had to draw up for your fight?
I'm not going to talk about that either, but I'll say, wait.
Coach, a lot of people put it at stake about Errol not stopping, Mikey not stopping, Porter, but he stopped a real tough Cuban and Ugas tonight. What do you think about that, and where do you rate his performance?
I think that in those fights, I mean, he struggled a little bit to make the weight. He brought in the dietitian. And I think that was the key, kind of like to his physicality, him being able to be strong in camp, strong in the fight. Because even after he weighed in yesterday, he still had to drink some stuff and do some stuff and stay on some stuff. And that's really what it was, yeah.
You feel it was the best version of Errol you've seen?
No, man. I told him in the corner, I said, we got to work on some stuff, man, you know. I think that, but it was all about at the beginning of the fight. Now he was trying to load up on it. I said, no, don't load up, man. Just shoot everything. And what happened, the guy was moving his head. Shoot everything here. Just shoot the left hook, not to the head, but to the shoulder. If you shoot to the shoulder, if I dip, I'm still going to catch the top of his head. So I said, listen, shoot to the shoulder, shoot everything to the body, shoot me to the chest, keep shooting.
So how would you grade his performance tonight?
I don't know. Because I could barely see. Somebody was in front of me, so I could barely really see. I think that he was very vicious to the body. I think that his defense was good. You saw like he moved his head, and you know he did what I wanted him to do, man. I mean, he broke him down all the way to where he couldn't really even throw many punches back. Because at first he had a little something on the punches, but I think that after he started hitting him a little bit more, he broke him down all the way.
What do you think?
Coach, how much better could he be?
Performance is like third best performance, second best performance of his career.
I don't know, man. I think that coming off the layoff, it hurt him a little bit, but he showed the dog. Because even when he got hit with a good shot, he was a little hurt. I was like, oh God, you know, but then you realize what really happened. He hit him on the break, which I mean that's a foul, but I don't care about that. I think he did good, man. He recovered back.
Coach, how much better can he be? How much better do you feel Errol can get?
Man, listen, man, just watch any Terrence Crawford fight.
Just wait and see? We just gotta wait now?
I don't think you'll be able to take all that about.
Derrick.
Hey, Derrick, congrats on the fight. Hey, EJ started off with the jab and going to the body like he always does, and then from the fourth round on, he completely was inside of Ugas. Was that the plan all along?
Well, it was like, I think we're going to fight him on the inside, we're going to fight him on the outside. It was like, fight him on the outside to this extent, and once you see him getting on the inside, there's nothing to do about it. Keep going back in there. He had no inside fight.
Did you expect him to stand there, though? He didn't run.
Wait, here's the thing about it. He couldn't move. Those body shots, he couldn't move.
So it really slowed him down.
I mean, he kept turning, but he really couldn't bounce away. Even when he got hurt, he kind of, he couldn't really move. So
Stay there and brace himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Derrick, you just brought up the long layoff as part of the issue. It was 14 months after the car accident and about a year and a half now since the tetrarena. Obviously, you being in the gym with him, did you kind of know it was gonna go this way, or you knew for sure that Errol was good, or was it his performance kind of solidifying like what you guys saw in the gym?
I knew that. I was hoping that the performance would be good. I know Ugas is very sneaky, very cunning. He'll try to sneak and get you in, let you kind of get you relaxed, and then he'll shoot a big shot, right? But I think that Errol stayed very focused, man. He stayed on it. And a couple of times I think that he kind of got a little lax because I think it was getting so easy. I always say when it gets easy, that's when you got to focus the most because that's when you get able to shot. So him pulling back on the break was part of that. They always say protect yourself at all times. So he didn't do that, and he got caught with a shot, but he was able to recover and go get him.
So ideally to you, when would you like to see Errol in the ring against Terrence?
Obviously. It's coming up.
Hey, Derrick.
It's coming up, bro. This thing already been,
Coach, how you feel? You're extremely soft-spoken, but I remember I seen an interview where people kept talking about Terrence and you got like really pissed off.
It was that I got pissed off, just like, because he did what he said he was going to do. Everybody wants what they want on their own time. but they don't do that. Their own life is not like that. You know what I'm saying? So this is his life. He chose to say, what did he say? Somebody can tell what he said. I'm gonna clean out everybody on this side of the street, and then I'm gonna come get you. That's what he said. So did he do that?
He did.
Okay, so what is everybody talking about? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody, Terrence said, man, he said he did what he said he was gonna do. So it wasn't that I was pissed off. It's just like, listen, man, you just gotta be like. He said he did exactly. He's a man of his word. He did exactly what he said he was gonna do.
Derrick, with the nutritionist, now you said he's a lot. Is it all aspects of his game are better now with the nutrition?
No, I just think that his physicality, he's able to be more physical, he's able to be more stronger, a lot stronger. He's able to use his body more to shots he shoots his body. I mean, he was digging deep, and that made the difference. I think that Ugas' offense was like, he took it away from us.
Derrick, who's the better puncher when it goes down? Crawford got 10 knockouts in a row, but Spence looks like the heavy-handed, natural.
10 knockouts in a row against who?
Some solid guys along the way. Sean Porter,
to be fair, he did.
Oh man, Sean Porter's daddy said I was gonna stop the fight before the fight. Didn't he say that?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean?
I think
No. What that meant was he was showing Sean that he's still the boss. There was a power struggle going on in the ring. And what did Sean do when his dad did stop the fight? What did he do? He retired and didn't tell him. Asked him when the last time he talked to his dad. The night they was in the corner. He had not spoken to him anymore. So there was a power struggle going on. The father wanted to prove him that he still was the boss.
Coach James, you got 3 belts with Errol, you got 3 belts with Jermell, that's 6 belts for you.
Right.
How does that feel, and where do you go from there? You look to get 8?
Hey man, we want to get 8 by the end of the year. It's part of the game, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think about that part of it. I just want these guys to keep winning, keep looking better, keep being better, because it's kind of difficult I just want to keep
But as someone who has been left off a Trainer of the Year list, I've seen him ignored for Trainer of the Year list to have 6 belts. How do you feel? Like, isn't that a statement in the game of boxing?
No, because he still won't get it. Somebody said it's messed up that he doesn't get it, but he said that you can't take that to the bank.
Derrick, I just wanted to kind of piggyback off Sean's statement when he said Crawford has 10 knockouts in a row, and then you said again too. So are you kind of saying that Crawford?
I'm just saying he hasn't faced the same competition, same level of competition.
But are you kind of also saying that Crawford's power is a little bit overstated?
I mean, I don't know. I never seen him fight like 2 or 3 times. I don't watch a lot of boxing. I do not watch boxing, but I'll start watching him when we start training for the fight. Right when they come, they set the date, I'm gonna start watching. I'm not gonna watch it now.
Just got done with the huge fight 4 weeks from today. Another huge one in California this time. The rematch with Castano for Undisputed. Just your thoughts on heading into the rematch?
This is gonna be round 13. You're starting off round 13, just like the last 4. He's on round 13, jumping back on it.
Does it excite you, the idea to know Jermell, you know his next fight is for Undisputed, and Errol, we're hoping his next fight's for Undisputed. Does that excite you to know?
We're going to get that. But no, I don't think about it, man, because you think about those trinkets, you can't focus on the situation.
Well, you don't have a situation right now.
No, I'm saying you can't focus on the fights. The fighters are them getting better, because I'm thinking about the prize, and I'm missing steps in between that because I'm thinking about I'm putting one thing before the other. I have to I live every day step by step, and I have to focus on something every day to perfect it, so where we can get what we need from Brian Castano.
I gotta ask your thought. Recently, Jamal Charlo was on the Mike Tyson podcast, and Mike said that he would love to see Errol move up to 54 to fight Mel. He's like, yo, if they really friends, let's get some bread together. Obviously you train both fighters, you wouldn't be able to train both of them in that fight, but just your idea on Mike's comments, and do you think that's true? Like,
I didn't see it, but I'm not thinking about it. People talking about it, but I'm not thinking about it. I don't want it. It'll be a big deal, but I don't want it. I think that they'll talk about whatever, and it's like this. Jermell can be the light welterweight champ of the world, or whatever, undisputed. That doesn't mean, Errol is at a point. Telling people out there, I don't think it was about him fighting for a title that brought him here. I think he would be able to sell anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing about it.
Guys, don't leave.
Like, subscribe, and share as always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Entitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.